Okay, so it's been a while since I've kind of just gone to the basics, and I don't know, that graphic I posted earlier, it really just had me thinking about what this business has done for me and what I really believe it can do for other people. And I just want to back up a little bit. You've seen me do crazy makeup looks, you've seen me just doing lots of stuff if you've watched me at all over the last year. But the basics of it is that when I joined LimeLight, it gave me a fresh start. It made me, it gave me a different kind of a challenge. It helped build my confidence because I know I was not, well, I just didn't like being in front of the camera, really, for sure. Definitely didn't have the network of women that I have now. It's really forced me out of my shell and helped me to see like how we're all different. We all come from different paths. We all have, our own stories. But doing this business and talking to the hundreds of women that I've talked to this year, it's helped me to see that it all comes down to the same things. Like, we have our insecurities, we love our family, we want to provide the best life we can for our family, we all yearn for freedom, we all want to have the means to be able to support the lifestyle that we want to live. Maybe that's to save for college, maybe that's planning for a retirement, maybe that's traveling, maybe it's being debt free, maybe it's just paying for groceries or paying for gas or paying off medical bills. There's so many things that we want. There's so many things we want to do as women, single or married, mom or fur mom, or, no babies at all. I mean, we all have our things, right? For me, at the beginning, it was like, I wanted something for myself. Like, my kids were at this age where it was weird. Like, all of a sudden, I felt like I was following them around and asking them if they wanted to do stuff. Like, it used to be they followed me around. They'd follow me to the bathroom. I'd have to be in there while they took a bath. I would make them their cute little plates of food. And you know what I mean? Like, they needed me all the time for, like, the tangible, like, mommy things, And then about the age where they were, like, 10 and 8, they started being a lot more independent. Like, they do their own baths, they make their own breakfast, they pack their backpacks by themselves. I think that's the OT in me. Like, I've trained them to be pretty independent, but then I found myself like I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know what to do with my time, and I'm like, this is so weird. I don't know what to do, and I know they still need me. That's abundantly clear. I mean, I think that was like a little phase that they went through, and now it's back to mommy tuck me in every night and whatever. But that was one of the things that got me going in this to begin with. I'd been presented with other opportunities before, but I never really saw myself doing it until this came along. Like, I never really saw myself as a network marketer. And I think that when I first started out, I really had to work through worrying about what people would think about me, what they might say about me posting selfies, or, the worry about, oh, well, people probably think this or they think that. And I really had to put that away and say, this is just what I want to do. I'm enjoying myself. I'm getting benefits from it. And I really just had to stop and say, you know what? It doesn't matter what people think, because I'm happy and I'm having fun and I'm enjoying myself and I'm making a difference in my family's lives in different ways, Like, there'll be times, I'll just be like, okay, we're gonna go bowling, it's on LimeLight. All right, let's go get new coats, it's on LimeLight. And, it's nothing big. I bought my kids, I bought them the boxing set, the bag, or I don't know what it is. I went to Shields on my way home from my little weekend away, and I'm like, okay, I want to buy the kids this thing so that they can go out in the garage and punch the bag. What do you call that thing? The sandbag thing it doesn't hang, it's like, sits on the ground. It sits on the ground and you punch it. So I bought them the boxing gloves, the tape, the punching thing, all the gear, and I'm like, here you go, this was on LimeLight, you know. It's like I get to give gifts without worrying about where it's coming from in the budget, or did I plan for this or not, you know. It's allowed me to have some freedom and allow me to be the giver that I love to be. I get to give gifts to my teammates. I love being able to be like, okay, well, I think you need this eyeshadow. And even if they didn't think they wanted it, I'll just buy it and throw it into their packet of stuff that they've ordered, and I'll add in the case. Like, I get to be generous doing this. It's not about like, how much money can I hoard? It's not about buy for me so I get a bigger check. It's not that at all. It's like this whole package of things that comes with doing this that's so enjoyable and so rewarding. Part of that is seeing other women like on their growth process and being able to be a part of that. You know, I have a team of almost 75 women in 13 months. Like, that's pretty awesome. And I get to pour into them and be a person of influence over them, and I take that very seriously. And it's a really big honor. People share with me very personal things. They open up, and they make themselves very vulnerable so that I can help them grow and push past and push into where they want to go, you know. And that's a huge gift. That's a huge gift. And when I walked into this a year ago, I didn't know that would even happen, but it's incredible. It's an incredible thing. We have deep relationships, and I know that sometimes that sounds kind of crazy, but it's true. I'm kind of rambling. I don't usually do this. I usually am like, okay, on point, let's talk about this. But tonight I just feel like just coming from my heart and just kind of sharing like the power in this. Like, I have like this different handle on life, I guess. Nowhere near perfect, not even close. There's still lots of struggles, but lots of struggles. Not even close to perfect. And if you want to message me and find out what I'm dealing with at the moment, be my guest. But there are a lot of things where I look back from a year ago to now, and I'm like, holy cow, I really figured that out. Oh my gosh, I know about YouTube. I know how to make pins on Pinterest. I know how to make and edit videos. I am a boss at photo editing. I can take a pretty dang good selfie. I found the best selfie spot in the house, probably in Kearney. It's like the most magical selfie spot in the world. So if you need a good selfie, come over to my house and stand on my front porch, because it is the best selfie spot around. Wrinkle eraser, perfect light, no filters needed. It's bomb. But no, one of the things I will say that I have struggled with in the past is communication. And this is something, it's kind of funny because Matt and I are like, we kind of have the opposite roles as most couples, because he's the communicator and I'm the one that struggles with communication. Like, he can talk about anything. He is so good at saying what he thinks and getting his point across, and he's very diplomatic about it. I tend to have all these expectations, all these thoughts, all these things tucked away up here, but I cannot get them out. So something that it's been a point of frustration, because he's like, just tell me, you know. I'm like, I can't. Or with something where I have an expectation and I don't communicate it, but I feel like he should have known, right, ladies? I feel like he should have known what I wanted without me having to say it. Now I'm learning the power of language and communication, and how what I say can help me get my point across better. And I'm learning that process, and I think that that's been really big for me. But okay, so let's put that away. Those are kind of the non-measurable things about LimeLight. But if you're looking at this and you've seen me post, like tonight I just posted about how there's like the Midwest and West, because the company was started on the East Coast. The East Coast is a lot more connected with beauty guides than the Midwest and West. And so I've seen this since the beginning, you guys, and this is why I keep talking about it and sharing about it, because I know the potential. I know the immense, thank you, Amy. I know the immense amount of possibility. That's one of my favorite words, possibility, in front of us. And I don't want to be the only one feeling this way where I feel so empowered and connected. I mean, this is more than like just selling makeup. This is more than, you know, just making a few bucks. Like this is really something special. But anyway, basics of the company. If maybe you're newer to my Facebook profile, or you haven't really looked into LimeLight yet, LimeLight is owned by Alcone, which has been around since the 50s. They first started selling false eyelashes to showgirls, and their makeup business has evolved ever since then. So we have the backing of a company that's over 60 years old, and it's owned by the daughter and the daughter and the granddaughter of the owner of Alcone. So it's a family company. It's new within the last 3 years, LimeLight, but it's backed by a 60-year-old company plus. So, yeah, it is more than makeup. So when Alcone saw that all the makeup artists that were buying their product were referring their customers other places to go and buy similar products, they decided to find a way for the makeup artists to be able to get a piece of the sales, so that the makeup artists who were introducing these products to their clients and the clients loved would be able to make money and build like a second income from the products that they were using and recommending. And so the start of LimeLight was actually for makeup artists selling professional makeup, and that is huge. It's huge. The quality of our makeup, for people who've tried it, you know the difference in our makeup versus something you can buy commercially. It's incredible. We have makeup that's more pigmented, makeup that lasts longer, has better staying power. It's better for your skin. Our foundation, just as an example, our foundation is a wax-based formula, which means it sits on your skin and it doesn't get into your pores. So it literally clears up acne if your foundation was previously the problem, because it was getting into your pores and clogging your pores. Our foundation has 50% pigment in it versus other people's other products or other brands that have 18 for the cheaper end to 23% for more commercial product. So the color is so much more dense, and so you don't use very much product at all. And so not only is the makeup high quality, but it's also got the backing of this company that's been around for a really long time. So the other cool thing is, not only do we have great product, but then you add in the depth of the compensation plan, where literally makeup artists are retiring because what they thought would be a little bit of a side gig is actually paying all their bills and more. They're not up at 3 a.m. to go to photo shoots, and it's expanded beyond makeup artists. So now you and I, who would never normally have access to this and definitely not be able to sell it, can now do the same thing. And what's great is you don't have to be a pro at makeup. You don't have to know all the latest things. You don't have to be, you know, super trendy with your makeup looks. I mean, there's so many women in this company that are just timeless beauties that love to just bring the basics to their clientele, you know, just help you get a good skincare regimen and the basic makeup, you know. I still love to use other brands of makeup, but I always come back to our products perform better than everything else. So I have a palette of eyeshadows that I sometimes use, but they don't perform as well as mine. I'm telling you, it's good stuff. So once you try it and you see the difference, then you're like, well, okay, I can continue to buy from Sarah, or maybe instead of that, I could actually sign up, spend 169 bucks, get $350 worth of product, and then my friends who are asking me about my makeup can just get it from me instead of me referring them on to Sarah. right? I mean, that's how this works. You find something you love, whatever it is, you're going to tell your friends about it, right? Like, you have a best friend and you guys share things, like if you find a new protein drink that you like, or your favorite pair of shoes, or a sweater, or your makeup, you talk to your friend about it, or maybe it's your sister or your mom. But there's someone you go and talk to about it, and then they usually try it too. And that is like the start of a business. It doesn't have to be what you see me doing, because I have a very wide reach at this point. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't start out that way. It starts out with a few people. I mean, if you have 5 people who'd be willing to try the product because you've tried it and they trust you, and you work your network in a way where those people help you grow your business, that's how you expand. So don't think that you have to be this big connected person and you're just going to hit the ground and go, crazy to the top of the company in 3 months. That's not usually how it works. I mean, it can, but that's not typical. But what you have to do is just keep your mindset on the fact that this is an incredible opportunity with a company that's full of integrity, with products that outperform anything you can get at the makeup store at the outlet mall. And you get to connect with people while you do it, and you get to improve in those areas that you need to improve on, whether it's communication or relationships, or like me, I've learned so much about online marketing and social media. But you start where you are. You don't have to hold back because of some idea that you need to be at a certain place. You just start where you are. If you have 3 or 5 friends or family members who'd be willing to try, you start there, and you ask them to help you with referrals. And that's how you start. It doesn't have to be this big thing. I mean, for me, it was, well, I don't know who would, be interested in this. And sometimes I'll tell you, sometimes it's not those people that are closest to you, but they're these unexpected people that'll come to you and say, okay, wow, I saw that picture. That's pretty awesome. You haven't talked to them in months or longer. And all of a sudden you're having a conversation about trying out the makeup, or, okay, well, they were looking for something to do as a side income. Let me tell you something else. If any time of year is the time to think about starting up a side business, now is the time. Now is definitely the time, because you've got 2 months before the holidays. People's pocketbooks tend to open up. They tend to be more generous. They're in that spirit of shopping, spending, giving, gifts to buy, holiday parties to go to. We've got extra collections, new holiday collections coming out. We actually have that incentive. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely talk to me about this. We have an incentive for October where you've still got 8 days left to sell as much as you can and get extra product for free that's not normally available. So right now we've got all these fast starts and everything, but then on top of that, for every $100 in product that you sell, you get $20 in credit to use on product to build your collection. So you also, if you signed up tonight and you told your 5 friends and family members that usually try what you try about it, and you could get some sales going by the end of the month, then all of a sudden you could be sitting at $100, $200 in credit that you could use towards your kit. You could also be working on your fast start. You could have your first commission check the first week of November. You work your business in November as well. You get another commission check in December. So there's 2 checks before the Christmas season rolls around. And then the 3rd check will come right after Christmas when the credit card bill shows up at your door. And guess what? You've got that cash to be able to say, here you go, I'm paying off this card early this year. I don't have to have the stress that I had last year when I spent what I spent on Christmas and then paid for it for the next 4 to 6 months, right? Because we do that. And this is a way where you can really change that cycle. Maybe this year you're still sort of using credit, but then you work your business every month like you guys see me doing. I'm here every day, I'm working, and it doesn't feel like work, it feels like fun. I'm enjoying myself. It's not a chore. It's not stressful. It's not a have to, it's a get to. And I really mean that. And I'm sure that you can see that in how I am when I do this. Like, for me, this is very enjoyable. It's enjoyable because of the people. It's enjoyable because of the product. It's enjoyable because of the growth and because of the reward. Because I get to go into my back office and I get to click on my commissions and see it ticking up. And for me, I'm a numbers kind of a person. I always have been. Anytime Matt comes to me with an idea, I'm like, show me the numbers, show me the numbers, show me the numbers. And the numbers don't lie. I mean, when you put the effort in, when you work, you get that back. It comes back to you. It comes back. And so maybe this year, you know, the holidays aren't maybe quite going to be what you want, but you keep working this business and next year will be a different story. It will be a different story. You can just take my word for it. There's so much you can do in this business. And it really comes down to mindset. And I know I've talked about some of the things that have that I have seen personally grown in myself, and mindset and catching myself in the things that I think about and the things that I allow myself to dwell on. It's really, really, really been eye-opening. And so developing yourself personally is a big part. But, okay, so I told you guys, I don't usually go on and ramble like this. I definitely rambled tonight, but maybe something I said spoke to you. I am here. You know where to find me. If you have any questions, let me know. You guys have a great night. Thanks for watching.